10 books in 10 days without losing my mental sanity. I think. In the beginning of this challenge, I didn't even know if it was possible to read a single book in one day. I had never done it before. The purpose of this challenge was to gain as much knowledge as possible in the shortest amount of time. The books I read are primarily self-improvement books and business books, and I know a lot about self-improvement because I've been doing it for a long time, but business books is really out of my league. So when my friend Jonathan came up with this challenge, I just knew that I was in for it. I first had to read a book called Make It Stick. This book provided me with the knowledge that I needed to learn most efficiently. And I realized why can't I not speak English? I realized while reading this book that I was approaching this challenge in the worst way possible. This book says that if you want to read a whole book, the best way to do it is by dividing it up, and it's not a good idea to cramp this much knowledge into a short amount of time because you're not going to learn anything from it. A technique that I used doing this challenge was downloading all of these books as audio books, so I could listen to the books in 2x speed while also reading them, and that allowed me to think and relate to the information that I was reading about while reading the book. And actually relating to information basically allows you to learn infinitely because you can relate new information to old information. It also allowed me to take notes while reading, so my multitasking skills basically went up by 1000 EXP. But of course, things didn't go the way I had planned. At day 1, my head was already hurting and I was struggling. And in this clip you can see when I realized what the 10 days was really going to look like. So it's a bit past 9 p.m. now, and I just finished reading Make It Stick. It took about 5.5 hours out of my day. It's definitely very hard, not just reading it, but also taking notes and trying to understand the material that I've just read. But I'm gonna go to sleep now, and then we'll just go again tomorrow. So I also did this challenge while living my day-to-day life. I went to the gym and I went to work at the elder care center. So I had to take 4 to 6 hours out of my awake time of the day to read these books. And I was still seeing my friends and my boyfriend and taking care of my body. I got enough sleep and all of that. But I would recommend doing this challenge at a time where you have free time, like at a holiday. So around day 3 or 4, I realized that I was really struggling with the business themed books. I didn't have information up in my tiny brain to relate the new information to. So today was a hard one. I read Running Lean and it was very hard to understand because I don't know a lot about the subject yet. So I had to use a lot of my brain power, and now I'm just gonna go to sleep. So now for the off-topic part of this video, here is a picture of my cat for your daily dose of serotonin. You are welcome. So at day 7 of this challenge, I ran into real problems. The challenge had been a struggle up until this point, but at this point it was really hard. Yesterday I found out that I have gotten something I call the reading arm, which basically means that my shoulder muscle up here is large. I cannot get my arm up higher than this, and it hurts really bad. I had to spend the night with my massage gun. Anyways, there was only like 3 days left of the challenge, so I did pull through and complete it in pain. So what was I left with? I had flipped 2,654 pages. I counted. And is it worth it? And I think so, yeah. Even though it was really hard, it did change my perspective. So I finished the challenge, and after my head had gotten some rest, I spent an evening with my notes and my thoughts. I basically had a journal session section where I just wrote down how I would implement the information that I had just gotten. And now it's actually over a month later since I did the challenge, and I have discovered that I have gained a new love for learning. I don't go to school anymore, so this is a new way of learning for me where I am the one in control, and it is really awesome. And I thought that I was gonna hate reading after this challenge, but I really love reading now. So maybe you want to know what book made the biggest impact on me, and I'm gonna have to say that it is this book, The Little Book of Talent. And The Little Book of Talent is just a bunch of tips of how you can improve yourself. For example, it says in tip number 19 that gamifying repetitive hard tasks can make it a lot more fun and a lot more efficient. So for example, when I ride my bike to the gym, I break down the bike ride in sections, and then I see how fast I can go to these sections, like the checkpoints, and it made the whole trip a lot more fun instead of just being hard and boring. You can really implement these principles in any part of your life. So yeah, this book I bring with me basically everywhere. So this is a challenge you can actually learn a lot from. That is why I do recommend it. But I also do recommend doing it at a time where you have proper time for it. And I'm still gonna read these books and really get every single piece of information out of them, because I didn't get that in the first round. It is really changing me as a person, and that feels really amazing. And so with that said comes the end of this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed it, and please consider liking and subscribing if you like this video. Bye!